Welcome back to this already the final segment of today's Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Brendan Neef, he is a regular on the program. I love having Brendan on the show. The guy is really, he brings an incredible amount of practical, real-world wisdom from the world of business to our listeners every time he's on. And always good to talk to you, Brendan. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Good morning. Thanks for having me. I enjoy being on the show with you guys as well.
It's awesome. Victory Transportation Systems is your company. VictoryTrucks.com is how people learn more about you. Tell us a little bit more about what Victory Trucks does, what you guys are all about.
Sure. Thank you for that. We're a time-definite hotshot provider here in Houston, Texas. We can deliver anything around town or we can deliver anything nationwide, and that can range from a small pickup truckload to a full tractor trailer in a dry van or a flatbed. We have some heavy haul capabilities as well. People that tend to call us need it pretty much expedited to where it's going nationwide or just around town to get there today versus some of the other type of carriers that will pick it up, deliver it around town tomorrow, and or take a little bit more of a slower pace throughout the nation to get a delivery there. So we'll have one load, one truck, and we're going to wherever you need it delivered, and we're going to get it there as fast as we can within the DOT laws.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's fantastic. And how long have you guys been doing this?
We opened in June of 2003, so we're going on our 13th year and working on some great things to help us continue to grow the business and actually scale the business on a pretty fast path over the next 5 years. And so that's what we're working on right now, our plan and our vision to back into that number that we want to do. We've got the number that we want to hit over the next 6 years, and then we're going to break it down into smaller revenue numbers and figure out all the details in between that we need to get there. What type of people will we need? What type of executive level type people will we need on the team? Will we have to go into other modes of transportation? Will we need to do an acquisition? Will we need to open up another location? So we're actually starting that process tomorrow. We just got off the phone with our CEO coach and was working with him today on starting to craft that. So that's where we are right now.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And that's the thing I like about you is that smart leaders are constantly getting help from others. Most leaders, I'm afraid, most business leaders out there, they've got this approach of such rugged individualism. Sure, you should be able to stand on your own 2 feet, but they're almost like islands when they really need to be connected more and getting insight and help from others. And you do that. In fact, my understanding is in the times you and I have had lunch together and we've talked about, your business, you have virtually always have had a coach in your corner, which, the greatest athletes out there have personal coaches beyond the coach for the team that they work for. And I think that's part of your personal success, don't you?
Oh, no question. I wouldn't be where we are today or at the revenue levels we are today if I hadn't started getting some coaching. And my coaching's evolved over the last 4 or 5 years as well. But, the one thing that, in my view, is we're today a little over a $20 million company, and our goal over the next 6 years, we want to work back from $100 million. So in that 5 to 6 year plan, that might change to 6 to 7 as we work through the plan. However, the thing that a coach helps us do is I've never grown a company past $20 million. So my capabilities are, growing a business could probably hit another $10 million or so. But then if you're really wanting to scale at a faster pace, you've got to have some of those education and some of that knowledge already in place. So you can, as you morph into the numbers and you start scaling, you're prepared to handle it when you get there. And so that's where a coach comes in, helping you realize you need the right people. You might have to change out some people. Some of the people that got you to 20 million may not get you to 100 million. Or you may have a key player today, but they just haven't scaled a business, and you might need to put that person in a different role. They're more suited for a different role and bring in a top talent from somewhere else that's already been there, done that. So the coach helps you work through that, helps you realize that, because sometimes that's challenging. Some people may not want to move this person out of that role, and they help you see that you either decide you want to keep people in certain roles or your goal is to scale the business, and then they help you realize to do that, the path you're going to have to take and the type of people you're going to have to bring in, And so, yeah, it's been a big benefit for me and our company for sure.
Yeah, one of the challenges is that we lose our objectivity. We get too close to a situation. We get too close to people. We end up liking certain individuals who are awesome that that we certainly would love to hang out with, but they're not able to take the company to the next level, which is what you need. That's what
Sure.
Those are the kind of things you're talking about that only a coach can provide.
Oh yeah, and it's an eye opener because you don't think that way, but it does make sense. If your whole team's never scaled a business from 20 million to 50 million, it's gonna be a long process. But if you work with somebody that says opens your eyes to that number one, and then you start realizing bringing in some top talent, and it'll help you grow your business by just finding the right culture fit and the right experience level. Then that starts to make a lot of sense. And we just got back. They had a CEO summit for all their clients this past weekend in Newport Beach, California, and so I was out there with about 90 other of their clients, and I mean it's just an eye opener, the different mentalities that these entrepreneurs and CEOs have that are really in the mindset and have scaled their business. So it was definitely a great education this past week, and having a coach is and the right coach is a great education as well.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I think is interesting about you, and that I'm glad that we get to pick your brain, is because you have indicated very honestly, which has been very refreshing, that because of the current economy, you're going through through challenges right now, and like who isn't? And but in spite of the fact that you're going through challenges, not only are you navigating through them, you're not removing your eyes from the prize of further expansion.
No, not at all. Any good run's going to have a challenge or two that's thrown at you, and so what our philosophy is meet the challenge head on. Get everybody informed of what's going on, talk about the challenge, get people to help you get out of the turbulent time. And as you're focusing on getting out of the turbulent time, you still got to keep your eye on the future. So when you get out of the turbulent time, you may come out of it a lot better and can move at a faster clip. So, yes, we're focusing on the challenges that we're seeing right now in Houston, as well as preparing for a 5-year plan from when we start to come out of this thing and to have a good organizational chart for that as well, as far as the plan and what's going to be needed. And so, yeah, we meet the challenge head on and try to figure out a way out of it while we're trying to focus on the future as well.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And I really do, on behalf of my listeners and myself, want to thank you for what you bring to us every time you're on the program. We're very, very fortunate.
Yeah, I'm fortunate to be here. I'm from a little small town in Normandy, Texas, and somehow or another, one of my buddies texted me from there the other day, said, "Hey, I heard somebody here had your radio slot," so I thought that was pretty cool, and I've enjoyed working with you guys as well, so thank you.
Well, you bring great content every single time, and again, very, very glad to have you. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Glad to be here, and we'll keep it going, my friend.
Thank you. We're looking forward to that. All right, that wraps up another great program as usual. Do you want to mention VictoryTrucks.com? Brendan Neef, phenomenal guy, great friend of the program, great personal friend of me as well. VictoryTrucks.com. A couple of stories. I want to do a shout out for guys like William and Bill and Chris, who have been guest hosting for me over the last several weeks. And the reason why that's been happening is because we're in the process of doing some really aggressive growth over there at the national news website, usdailyreview.com. And that has kept me extraordinarily busy. Plus, we've been doing a lot of stories there for that website as it continues to expand. So make sure you check out usdailyreview.com. But props to my great team of guest hosts who are doing an awesome job as well. By the way, I do want to mention today's show brought to you in part by our friends at Brilliant Energy, Bob Lozer and Associates, and Victory Trucks. Do want to thank all of them for being a part of this program. They make this show a huge success, the longest running business show in Houston, Texas, and I'm glad to be able to bring this information to you every single day. All right, I want to wish you a great rest of your day. Again, do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com, and the best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While at both sites, make sure you like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon right here on The Price of Business.